Hi there, traders. This is Brad Gilbert with the Daily Market Insight for Tuesday, the 15th of March. Right, just having a look here. What's the major impacting factor that's driving all these markets? The summary here is Asia stocks skid as Ukraine war, China's COVID surge. Right, there's a bit of a slight fear of a slowdown in China as they've got another round of the pandemic going through the place, but and that's where we are at the moment. It's like really tricky / weird, right? There's some weird things happening, and equities continue to get belted. I've been talking about this for some time. Like they are so overdone, but I still think they've got like another 20-30% in them. The S&P 500, just keep an eye on it. It's coming up to a critical 200-day moving average, which would put it into a bearish mode, and that could trigger a lot of funds liquidating S&P positions. Right, the dollar index on the currency front, S&P's not doing much. Yeah, the euro is drifting lower, but it's not really going anywhere. The volatility index slightly up, and once again, they're starting to see oil drift and gold's just going with it. Right, I think we've seen the peak from the Russia-Ukraine war on oil. I think it's as supply starts to increase, we should see this back down. Maybe around here, around $70. Right, it's got a bit of a way to go. A bit of a technical level there. Actually, if I just delete that, it's looking pretty good. So just let me just blow that chart up. That looks pretty good here, just technically. This is what you should be doing. If you see things, just get your tools and draw them, because you find the diamonds in the rough. Look at that. Right on support here around 96.57. Right, that's on a daily chart as well. So I tell you what, keep an eye on that level as we go forward. Oil's been a big driver of a lot of things. Obviously the war as well. Sterling, I'll show you sterling in a bit. It's just been getting drilled, and Bitcoin continues to just drift sideways. Right, so that's where the major stuff is. You can look at this on a data perspective. Right, you're going to see once again, let me just move this, a lot of red here on the US equities. Okay, a little bit of a reprieve for the cryptos today, but once again, European Asian equities still getting drilled. Aussie and Kiwi still sort of sitting on the sidelines. As far as the currencies goes, it's not easy, right? I was going to say easy pickings, because there's it's pretty hard to work out exactly which pairs. If anything, it's more like the location, right? Euro sterling, a lot of Russian interest in the UK, obviously, and that's been a big push to the downside in sterling. Aussie, Kiwi, well, you know what? They haven't really been dancing to the same song or the same hymn, singing to the same hymn sheet as it goes. But if I just give you a look at the currencies, it's quite interesting, right? Because as I said, you've got these on the longer term charts. Sterling is the one pair that has just been getting drilled. Don't forget, there's an interest rate hike expected on Thursday in the UK, and this thing's on its knees, right? It's got a long way to go too. There's no support levels around. Meanwhile, if you looked at the Aussie and Kiwi, you wouldn't think anything was going on. It's good to see dollar CAD is stabilizing here, right? And if I'm right, and oil heads back towards $70, we should see dollar CAD back up around 130 the figure, right? Looks like it's heading that way. As far as the dollar goes, dollar index, dollar Swiss, dollar yen, okay, all heading topside. Once again, it supports that move in dollar CAD. We just need the oil to drop a little bit further, and then we should see it come into play. Equity markets, well, once again, just a quick look at the charts here. Looks pretty ugly, I'll just wait for these charts to pop up, but there's no two ways about it. They're all getting drilled. Actually, the Aussie's been hanging in there, and so is the Kiwi as well. Nikkei off, everything, right? So they're all one of the same, pretty much. The volatility index sort of just hanging around that 31. And let's give a quick glance over here at the cryptos. As I said, like with Bitcoin, it's pretty much trading sideways, but you know what? These things are at critical levels, more Litecoin itself. and also Ethereum, these things drop down through these support lines. We're going to see a bit of a liquidation, and that may be enough to push Bitcoin down with it. If you're looking on an hourly perspective, these top charts, well, they are just sort of jamming away in sort of recent ranges. I mean, these top trend lines aren't particularly that good. That one's orange. So you can sort of see that they're just hanging around, waiting to see what happens. But I think you'll find the answer will be on the daily charts there. Okay, so that's where we are with the major instruments. It's there's plenty coming up. And if I just come back to the Forex template here, just having a look here at the key data there, you got the employment numbers coming out of the UK today. Are they going to have any impact? Well, I tell you what, if they're negative, or sorry, not negative, if they're bad numbers, right, we're going to see sterling continue to the downside. I think a breakthrough 130, the figure, is going to be is the key part. Now, it's Tuesday, right? We've got the Fed coming out Wednesday, interest rate hike expected. We've got the Bank of England on Thursday, interest rate hike expected. And we've got this continued war, plus, you know, China getting a bit more of the pandemic. It's quite funny. It started there, supposedly, and it's now sort of kicking home again. So just keep an eye on your core instruments, right? You got the US equities. They've been getting hit. Now, today, the futures are slightly up. Is that creating a uniform movement on the currencies? Not really, right? If anything, what we're seeing with the risk on, risk off day is if it's a risk on profile, equities rally, euro and sterling rally, and Aussie and Kiwi fall. Now, that's not the usual case of it, but you work with what you've got. Okay, so just keep an eye on that. Safe havens, well, I'll tell you what, no one's really interested in the Swiss or the yen, and gold's off a bit as well. So, you know what? We'll have to wait and see how it plays out, but plenty going on. As I said, like today, it's the start of the UK data, but you're looking for negative numbers to go with the trend. If anything, I'll be sort of standing back a little bit, because one of the key things here, if I just come back, let me just change screens again, just having a look at this, right? And I'm looking for like a key critical level to get in. Now, on the daily charts, okay, I know this thing's massively oversold. It's come a long way, but this looks like a giant level. It's had 2 touches down here. It's bounced. I tell you what, negative numbers or anything to crush this, you probably get 100 points to the downside at the very least, right? I'd love to see it happen with data, because it's going to be more convincing then. If it's not, well, then you might get the banks trying to push those stops. It'll go 15 points through and bounce. So that's why I like to see these levels broken with a catalyst, right? Like a fundamental driver. All right, guys, that's where we are. It's quite interesting as we play it out. Tuesday, early in the week, no need to get yourself all in a tiz. Make sure you control your risk. Look for the good opportunities. It's not a guess, right? Let's look for some opportunities which have got sound trading profiles, and that's where the cash is. All right, guys, have a good one. Cheerio.